Much for joining us, and congratulations on your victory yesterday.
Thank you, Thank you.
Just to start off with, really, why did you want this job? I mean, when you consider what has happened to the previous... No idea. Well, you may very well say that, but when you consider what has happened to the previous 4 in only a year, people might think, why on earth does he want it?
Yeah, so, I mean, I can understand them asking that question. I mean, the problem is, and it's irrespective of the previous leaders, we're now at a critical point in the country's future. We are going into this Brexit negotiations with, frankly, we're not making much progress. And it's critical that going forward we do so, because the future of this country's welfare, its security, its trade, its whole economy, people's optimism, is all going to be based into the future. It's going to be based on the outcome of these negotiations and how we leave the European Union. And this party is obviously the party that brought about, effectively, the referendum and its result. And we have a moral obligation to be constructive in that debate.
Well, let's talk about Brexit in a minute. But, I mean, many people in your party have said, rightly I think, that as the party goes forward into the future, you need other policies, other areas to focus on than Brexit. So I was just looking at your website last night, and to be honest, I was quite hard pushed to find other policy areas that you're interested in other than Brexit. So maybe you could just tell us quite quickly, say 3 policy initiatives, 3 policies that you would like to see brought in, unrelated to Brexit.
No, I mean, they're all related to Brexit in one way or another.
So all
in
your
effect,
party's policies are related to Brexit?
We've got to. I've said publicly before that we're going to go back to the 2015 manifesto as the baseline.
Right. Okay.
So that's the start point.
Right. Okay.
And it's already produced. It's already there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to review all of that. So you may have seen.
What was wrong with your recent manifesto, your 2017 manifesto?
The 2015 one, I believe, is a more appropriate start point for us to review. That's true. But to start a review and adjusting from that baseline.
Okay.
Now, just to go back to the previous question about, or the point I was making about Brexit, it is not just about leaving the European Union. That's my point. If we do not set ourselves up as a nation, internally and externally, in our outward approach to other nations, if we don't set that up in the right way as we go into the Brexit situation, into leaving the European Union, we are not going to be at the best start point to launch our own independent future, if you like. So it's related
surely there are 3 other issues that you could name, or just another issue that's unrelated to Brexit, something that you care about. You're a politician now, you know, you must have lots of views.
For example, last night, I've made it very clear that, or yesterday, that I believe that we need to immediately reverse cuts to border force, and we need to develop a national border strategy. Now it's about trade facilitation. It's about security.
Okay, so let's just take just a few quick fire questions, and just to try and flesh out your politics a little bit. In the past, your party has said that it's in favour of a referendum on the death penalty. Is that something that you would be in favour of?
No, we don't. We've got other priorities there. We're not going down that route. Not at the moment. No.
Okay, and an immigration cap. What do you think immigration should be roughly in this country? Something your party would be very interested in.
Not giving a cap. Look,
in 2015. Right, so but you said you're going
as
back.
A baseline. There's a baseline.
Okay, so not that bit.
No. I mean, we need a point system, and it needs to be flexible enough to deal with the different needs and demands on the nation and on the immigration situation globally.
Now, how much do you think roughly? Just to be clear.
No, I'm not going to put a figure on it.
But your party used to say 50,000, 30,000.
I'm not going to put a figure on it. What I would like to see is what is the problem? Is the problem that we're not at 0, or is the problem that we have an immigration rate that is higher than we can actually manage as a nation, that is overwhelming our public services and it is overwhelming our communities? So now that becomes a problem, and you can't set a figure on that and stick to it.
So you're moving away from the 2015 manifesto on the death penalty.
It's a baseline, the 2015 manifesto.
Okay, well, there's 2 quite important issues. Talking about taking Brexit, do you think there should be any transition period for this country as we leave the European Union?
I don't think there should be. No, absolutely not. However, the government at the moment has failed to plan and prepare for the day that we leave the European Union, in particular the customs union. Okay. Now, there are going to be heavy demands on our borders that day that we leave, and no planning or preparation has taken place. Now, that takes time. So if you need to recruit additional border force staff, if you need to design, identify the needs, design, and then build additional facilities, for example, this takes time. Now, because the government's already lost 14 months then indeed there may well be a need to push that forward.
So Nigel Farage used to say, that it wouldn't be a problem if we leave on World Trade Organization rules. Do you agree with that?
Not entirely. We can do it, but it's not a simple "let's do it." Bang.
It seems to be very different from the old UKIP. I mean, Nigel Farage, your former leader, sure, but your former leader, Nigel Farage, the man who basically endorsed you for this, used to say that says there should be no transition period. He says that World Trade Organization, so there should be a transition period.
I've said there should not be. However, I do not want, on a point of principle, to say there should not be, and as a result, we have a car crash on our borders.
Okay.
So it's not different.
Okay,
you asked me, should there be?
Just fine.
And I don't think
on Anne-Marie Waters, the defeated candidate.
Yeah.
You described, I think it was no secret, that you essentially said that you thought that if the party chose her, the party risked becoming a Nazi party. Do you think that there are Nazis in your party now? And if so, well, you must have thought
I said there was a danger of it going down the path of being a National Socialist Party, yes. Right. And I would stand by that. But yesterday, you saw that the party quite decisively decided not to go down that path.
Yeah, and
I'm pleased about
Nigel Farage says that he hopes that she leaves the party. Do you agree?
That's entirely her decision. Entirely her decision.
And very funny. Do you like the new logo? Is it here to stay?
I quite like it, but we have to appreciate that it's a logo is about the identity of the party, and that's a matter also for the members. The members yesterday voted very strongly to adopt the new logo, so that's...
The line's here to stay. The UKIP line's roaring again.
I think it will be, yes.
Right,
we might tinker around with it a little bit.
Okay, well, thanks very much for joining us, Henry. There you are. The new...
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.